hands. If you allow, if you go into the last game needing the result, it might backfire. And when it backfires, you are heading out of the competition. They are very good at this particular competition, and it gives them the perfect template for them to breed their future super eagle players, so they don't take this competition for granted as well. So in terms of under 17 tournaments in the world, not only in Africa or CAF or West Africa, Nigeria is a team that you can't look far beyond them. You can't take them lightly, because basically they bring their A game on board all the time, and they always love to be the pace setters of every single competition. One problem with the teams is this evening, the Nigerian coach, what will be his tactics? Are you going in for it, or you are going to settle for the draw? The first half of this game, and I'll tell you yet again, the team that will that will break the deadlock, the team that will get the first goal stands a better chance of winning this game, because it basically pass pressure.
No, you're passing the same comment.
Yes, it pass pressure on the opponent, and this is juvenile football.
Well,
the moment
that you see on your screens, forgive me for that, but on your screens you can see that the flags are already out. It means business, just like you are describing, and the teams will be out shortly. But I mean, for a neutral who's coming here for the first time, in conclusion of your point and in building up to this question as well, what is that neutral to expect?
Well, one thing that we've seen in this competition is none of the teams played a dull game. All of them took the game to their opponent. They love to play free-flowing, attacking football, displayed at its maximum best. So the most important thing here is I can see this team not going to be a dull game. It will be an end-to-end stuff, and we are in for another trailer this evening here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
So you have it, and of course we'll be having the teams show up on the pitch of play, and of course it is important to have them, and there you have it in your picture, flags quite panning out at its maximum to show that of course you are indeed ready for this game. We're moving into our commentators. I've been here with my brother Francis Asaba. Francis, lastly before you go,
Good evening to you watching world. There's plenty of drama to look forward to in this particular match as two neighbors separated by 945 kilometers battle it out this evening in tonight's fixture. Well, it is a must win for defending champions, else it will spill more trouble for the Golden Eaglets in their final group game against Togo. But a sweet story for Niger is that if they win tonight, they will remain untouchable with 6 points, and obviously it means that they will be heading into the semi-finals of the WAFU tournament. And these are the officials in your shots. This is the Nigeria team led by Simon Kletos, who have been celebrated back in Nigeria by his school, Ville College, for winning the man of the match in the previous game against Burkina Faso. And that is the man in a 10 jersey. This is a Nigerian side who, against all odds, managed to pick the 3 maximum point against Togo in the opening fixture. Well, my name is Kwa Vector, and I'll be doing this with Oswansa, my co-commentator for tonight.
Well, definitely it is going to be a night of excitement, considering the two sides who are logging horns against each other for the first time in this competition, and their second fixture as well in Group B. Nigeria, the powerhouse of youth football on the continent of Africa, having even been able to be crowned several champions in the world. They are here against a Mino known as Niger, a Mino that managed to beat Togo in the opener. So this will be the second game for both teams, having Nigeria also drawn level against Burkina Faso. So it's going to be a fixture of excitement, but we are all looking forward to how the outcome may look like.
Well, take nothing away from this fixture in terms of the thrill, the buzz, and the rivalry it can present. There have been a lot of talks off the field between these two nations, who once upon a time were closely knitted, but are now separated by a lot of circumstances. You talk about Niger, at least deriving their name from the river Niger that is close to them, and a lot is happening in that side of the continent.
Exactly, that was just a geographical expression there. And talking about Niger, they are closer to Nigeria, and as indicated earlier, they drew their name from the river Niger. So similarly, they seem to have something in common, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the different approaches, and this time around, it's just a matter of 3 points or never, because Nigeria will need the maximum points to serve as a cushion in their next game, which is their final group game against Togo. And if things don't go as planned, then the all-time best team on the continent of Africa is likely to find themselves in a very difficult situation.
Well, of course, Nigeria coach deciding to play a 3-top, that of Rafa Adams, Adeleke, and Agbengla. Of course, they will be looking forward to the supplies from their captain, Kletu Simon, and he'll be assisted by Samuel as well. Olademiji, of course, Yunus Ikeshola, and of course, Mende will be the back four in this particular game. But talk about the Nigerian side. Of course, they've got their goalkeeper in Fakal, who will be manning the post for them. Talk about the double pivot in terms of the defensive duties is Chisu and Chaubu. Of course, Mohammed is on top of them with Kozie, Chik, and of course, Abdul Nasser leading the line for this Nigerian side. Well, Nigeria clouded in their favorites, green and white outfits, and likely to be kicking from left to right. In your shot on the screen was Nigerians to be kicking from the right to left, crowded in that favorite orange outfit.
So the traditional colors of both nations, Nigeria, white and green, as against that of orange and patches of white from Niger. It's going to be a great game, having scored 3 goals in their opener.
So there we go for the first 45 minutes. Nigeria with the first touch in this game. Looking forward to what they can present. But it's Niger who is trying to only catch the opponent on the break. As Nigeria have been able to weather the storm, it's now back to Chika. He returns it to Yunus, who decides to drag it across the field to find Rafa Adams once again. And it's being watched at the far right hand side by Niger. The Menace looking to at least cause a lot of trouble for their neighboring country in this particular game. So much trouble for them. A lot of interesting side to look forward to, owing to the fact that they are already doing well on the table with 3 maximum points.
Yes, exactly the case. Niger was considered as a minnow in this game, but surprisingly they came on top against Togo, and here they are in their second game against Nigeria. Even if they are able to salvage a point, clearly it becomes obvious that they are more likely to qualify out of Group B.
So the big man up front was being searched for. Agbengla was being looked for on that occasion, but they could not find him. And it's now back to Yamfore, who decides to drag it inside. But it's back again to Yunus. Yunus trying to orchestrate play from the middle, and it's back to his goalkeeper, Dominic. And he leaves it for Ikeshola, who leaves it for his captain, Cletus once again. And he drags it to Samuel. Samuel will find Chika once again. Very calm, constructing passes from behind. There's a long ball whipped inside, looking for the man in the 13th set, Adik Leke. But that's another great defending from Yamfore.
So the Nigerians have begun to be absolutely constructional in their approach, and overwhelmingly we have seen glimpses of a team that has much attacking potency. Anytime they travel beyond the attacking third of the pitch, you can see the composure and composition from the attackers, and clearly they are not going to leave any stone unturned here.
Oh, it's a bit crowded in the middle at the moment, but it's being cleared away by Odamije. Lamije now leaves the ball. It's Niger now tracking forward a bit with Chaibu. His ball coming off his back, obviously throwing advantage for Nigeria. Two sides not in a haste in this game, as we've done just 2 minutes already. But here he will love to strike for a check. He's been stopped, leaves the ball for his captain. He has been stopped once again in his stride by Mende, Daniel Mende, who plays for Superstars in Nigeria. Here's Niger once again trying to construct something beautiful from the far right hand side. Check, drags it inside. And what a huge clearance by Dominic.
Well, he was forced to action after a defense splitting pass from Check, and Dominic was equally aware of the task ahead and was able to get up to the expectations of many. But then, so far so good. We have done 3 minutes and we are witnessing some tactical variation from both teams.
Well, let's see if the tactical variation from these two sides can yield any results. Chika. He's looking for that line pass to Ngbenla, but couldn't really get it. As Nigeria will drag the ball all the way to the back to see if they can do something from the left-hand side where Mendes base. Leaves the ball for his captain, Cleto Simon. Corner to Chika once again. He's got a lot of yellow shirts on him. This is a lovely play now for Nigeria from the right-hand side. It's Dick inside. But again, it's well collected.
I mean, quite a poor pass there from Agbenla. He was looking to tee Adeleke up, but unfortunately his attempt went straight into goalkeeper Faker, who had nothing to really struggle with. But so far so good for Nigeria. They are dictating and they are providing us with something special.
Well, in case you've just joined us, it's a WAFU Zone B tournament, and we live from the University of Ghana, the Legon Sports Stadium to be precise, as we bring to you the second Group B game of the day that is involving Nigeria and Niger, two sides that are just separated by 945 kilometers. Cletus for Nigeria, halfway. He drops it deep to find Ikeshola, who'll be looking for space. Unless Ikeshola has just got a man close by him, and that's certainly Samuel. Samuel retreat back to Ikeshola once again, who decides to hit it diagonally top into the box of Niger, and is well collected by Faker.
Great goalkeeping from Faker. He didn't struggle with that. So far, Nigeria is looking for an opening, and gradually they are trying to come up with something, and the ideology will only work provided they get the connections right.
Needs to be very careful, Nigeria goalkeeper Dominic, but at least his mind to find it. Chika, who hit it that one out of danger zone, but at least the flag is already up against them. It looks like the advantage will stay with the menace of Niger, who are 4 point as it stands in Group B. On level pegging with Burkina Faso, who managed to outclass Togo earlier on the same turf.
And that game was a game of great technicality, having witnessed a lot of showboating in that. But finally, the Burkinabe came on top with a 2-0 against Togo, who have been shown the exit in this competition.
Whereas Mende drops it deep into the half of Niger, who are really struggling to come to terms in this game. Cletus, brilliant play, drops it to the right-hand side, but again, it's Niger who watched the line very well. As Nigeria regain possession. It's back to Yunus. Yunus plays for Derby Academy in Nigeria. One of the few young players he expect a lot from in tonight's game. Cletus, here he comes again, but again, it's been well watched and it's been cleared by Mamadou, who has now found his striker Chick. Chick find Cozier. Cozier looking for space, and he has some support in Chiso. Oh my goodness, that was a real strike there.
Well, that was an ambitious effort, great one by all standard, and that will certainly call for some applause. I mean, his vision was right. The direction was the problem, but in any case, for such a young lad to get such a great opinion or vision, we need to commend him for that. But it's been a delightful performance from both ends.
It's been delightful. 7 minutes already played here at the Legon Sports Stadium, and it's so Nigeria that are determining the pace of the game, controlling the tempo, and determining how Niger should get into those pocket of spaces that they left behind. And there's this cross session of Niger's bench and the coach as well, Mamadou Bashiru. As if done first half already applies down, and that will be Nigeria's midfielder. Only struggling to get onto his feet, and he manages to catch Shola. And as you know, in your shots, as Nigeria hope to regroup from the back again.
Definitely, they have no option than to. Remember, in their first game, they drew level against Burkina Faso, but this time around, they have no option than to win if they really want to maintain their composition as the powerhouse of under-17 football on the continent of Africa.
Well, yet to really see Mohamed Abdul of Niger, and of course, Mokhtar Ibrahim, who scored against their opponent in the previous game. They've been a bit silent. Well, it is the usual suspect because Nigeria are a big team when it comes to the youth level on the continent. Defending champions as well when it comes to the WAFU.
Definitely they are. And last year they won it. This year they are seeking to defend it. When it comes to Africa, they are the powerhouse when it comes to the U17. Going way to the world where globally they've been seen as one of the best as far as the under-17 World Cup is concerned. So generally, they have created a very good impression, carved a very good niche of themselves. So maintaining it is what is left now. But I think from the way they have started in this game, they are likely to get something.
Here come the menace again, halfway in your own half. Lovely ball spread to the man in a 10 shirt, Abdul Nasser. But again goes around Cheka. And will fail to go around Samuel in a 4 jersey. And that is a return ball from the man in the 8 shirt, Chisu once again. Now the big man is already dragging into the area with it. Adams Rafa. Well, he's been well checked. And that'll be Golden Eaglets throwing an advantage.
Great game so far. Just 10 minutes of play. And clearly we are seeing some dictation here from Nigeria. Every aspect, every angle, they seem to take charge of that. But how well will they continue with this? It's a big question.
Well, so let's see how well they continue with this. There's the words of my co-commentator. But it's Nigeria. Sister Chika. Adami. But that's a quick substitution for Nigeria. Ikeshola fails to return onto the turf, means that his place has been taken by Chibueke. Oh, it's now in the number 12 jersey. And he'll be expected to add a lot of firepower to his side. Only to continue from where Ikeshola left, but here comes Nigeria approaching a dangerous area of Mali, of Niger. It's forced to Chika. He twisted and turning, looking for that space. And he decided to retract back. In a new man that have just got in, Chibueke with his first touch. So he's been introduced into the game by coach Gabameno. Samuel lifts it for Chibueke once again, who decides to go for the long hits. And again, Niger needs to be very careful. Faker on the right place to claim that one.
Well, Faker was on arrival at the right time, and he grabs that with no difficulties. So far, so good. Great game witnessed by, both teams. And I can say on authority that it hasn't been an easy one here so far for Nigeria. But then, there's still more room for improvement. They need the points if they really want to shape up their focus and chances in this very competition. Remember, they are the defending champions.
Oh, really enjoying every Arsenal in this game is Jan Fore for Niger. Decides to hit it diagonally. As his captain was waiting to receive it. Kosi. But here comes Simon Cletus for Nigeria. Delivers a lovely ball into the channel. But again, his Faker misses the ball. Could this be Nigeria's chance to take the lead? Oh my goodness. That is a real wasted opportunity from Adeleke. But again, a lot of decisions coming to this game. Referee points to the penalty spot. And it's goalkeeper Faker who stays on the ground.
Well, from what I saw in the build-up, there was road contact in that. I don't think the referee had it right. There was road contact in that one. He had the opportunity of scoring from there, but there was an intervention in a negative way, and the referee's decision seems right. But let's see whether there will be a change in mind. But it was a perfect decision by the referee.
Well, he stays down Faker as he receives treatment. Niger's ambition of picking an early ticket for the semi-final has been dealt a big blow. Oh, it is occurrence here, just on the 13th minute mark. And could spill a lot of trouble for them. And so, it's not been taken.
Well, maybe the posture by the referee got me wrong at some point. From the way he acted, well, I thought he had pointed to the spot kick, but unfortunately, it's rather meant to goal kick.
Well, certainly feel that it was just a very feeble touch on Adeleke, and he went down too easily. But the menace, of course, would have to grow from the back again. Yet to really spring into the game. Chika. He lifts it for his man Samuel, who drags it into the heart of defense for Yunus. Lifted deep, looking for the big man up front again. Rafa Adams, but couldn't find him. And he committed a foul on his marker. It's Mamodu who goes down. He needs to be really, really careful. Mahamodu, at least winning the sympathy of the referee.
And so talking about Nigeria, historically, they are the powerhouse in the Under-17 World Cup, having won it back-to-back after Brazil in 2013, 2015. And they are the first nation to have won the maiden edition of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in 1985, hosted by China. So clearly, it tells you that Nigeria are really into youth football.
A big production factory when it comes to youth football development on the continent, but they are followed closely by other nations who are beginning to study the model, the likes of Senegal, in other big nations as well. But here comes, that is a huge clearance there from Mahamudu. Settling that is a throwing advantage to the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria with quarter of an hour done so far at the Legon Sports Stadium.
So the first quarter of the game clearly shows, distinctively we can see the intent of both coaches, and you can see that the Nigerians are trying to hold on and handle the pressure from Nigeria. Nigeria, on the other hand, are desperately in need of a goal. They are defending champions, and they want to maintain that pride, that dignity, no matter what. So it's going to be a great game with all this combined.
Well, it's now on to the captain, Kozie. Goes around his marker, but struggling a bit. Managed to keep it onto his foot. So he tried to retain, but he hit it onto the left-hand side. Here comes the hot chase. Can a young chap get it? He gets it. Abdul Nasser going around the marker, but it's been stopped there by Chibuike. Oh, that was quite a very nervy moment for the Nigerian defense.
Also, Abdul Nasser Alu Shefu was on the verge of making it positive for Niger, but unfortunately there was a stop there. I mean, I really loved the build-up. That was an excellent one there from Niger, and that was a perfect Hollywood pass, switching perfectly to him. He was just trying to carve his way into the 18-yard area where the stop came in.
But here they'll come again is Abdul Nasser. Plenty of space. It's 2 on 3. Oh, decides to retract back. Can this come from the captain, Kozie? Long shot, but it's been well dealt with. Klatus managed to push this one out. And here comes the hot run. Rafa Adams for Nigeria. The Golden Eaglet puts him forward. Oh my goodness. That was a real hit into the box. But it's kept. As Nigeria look for the options. Klatus, the captain of the side, goes for the shot there. And then once again, fake out is equal to the tax.
Well, we need to commend Nigeria. That was a very well built up performance there from Nigeria. He sent it through looking for the connection. But the ball had much power and evading almost all his players. But clearly it tells you that indeed they're up to something. Nigeria desperately in need of a goal.
Oh, Dominic nearly saving a situation there for Nigeria. Chibuike watches on. He needs to be very careful. The right back position. Since replacing Ikeshola. Yunus leaves it for a captain, Kletus. Finds Samuel halfway. And it's now been dragged onto the right hand side for Olademije. Who finds Chika. Lovely ball. Playing that one out of inside his foot. But again, it's a man as Kozie. It's so Kozie. Lovely ball again to find a man in the 2-set for Niger. It comes in. And what a shot coming in from Mohamed. Just sweeping across the face of goal.
Mohamed Abdul Boridia had a sighted goal, and that tells you that indeed the Nigerians are also drawing back into the game. We are witnessing something sumptuous, and clearly today's matches have been an exception.
The man has clearly walking himself into the game after sitting back for the last 10 minutes. They are now beginning to find their rhythm. As it's quite shocking in all that engagement throughout the world in terms of the various leagues. But here he comes again, somewhere for Nigeria. Drags it into the center cycle to find Yunus, who drifted onto his left-hand side because Daniel Mendy was arriving. Certainly couldn't pick it up early. Yunus again. He picks it up. Lesu finds a bit of solace again in Chibuike, who's just coming. Lesu replaces Keshola, who fails to continue with this game. Nigeria trying to construct something from the back again. Is that man, Mohamed, who wins possession for them. Chaibu finds his captain, Kozie. Kozie once again drops it deep. Lifts it for the man in the 3 shots.
Well, I'm beginning to witness some tactical decisions here from the Nigerians. Almost always they try to switch play quickly to the left-hand side, and it has worked twice for them. And since then, they keep doing so.
Here comes Rafa, drops into the penalty box, but again, he's been brought down. Referee says game should continue. He feels it's too feeble. As Niger has been stopped in a center cycle by Samuel, who finds Mende. Leaves the ball for his captain or skipper, Cletus. He's a reorchestrator down the middle. As it's quite pass to Samuel once again, who picks it up. Chiboise sends it to his centre back, Yunus. Yunus will find Samuel once again. He's got two players close by. But again, is Niger watching their line. Osman clearing his lines.
Also, to avert any danger, what the Nigerians are doing now is they will sit back, hold the pressure, and make sure that Nigeria do not create any opening. And so far, it has worked for them. Nigeria is looking for an opening, but in as much as they try, the Nigerians equally try to find a very good solution to that. And clearly, you could see from the defensive shape up, anytime they are defending, they become 5 instead of 4, meaning one, Chiso will have to drop deeper to come and join the back four to make it 5, and it's really working for them. Great defensive setup so far from Niger, and how they've been able to handle the pressure is an excellent one.
Well, here is the menace once again, and it's through Young Foray with a long hit inside, looking for the round of the man in a tension again, but it's been well taken care of by Chibweke, who is a corporate with Abdul Nassau, agitating that there was a touch on his face by this youngster. And the game has been halted, at least to attend to him. Abdul Nasser was an enterprising run. He had so far deep into the areas or into the channels of the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria. Oh, the captain also have a word with the referee, Kosi. He certainly may not be excited about some of the decisions. Not really going his way.
Also, he's only trying to sound a little laconical, but then if you take critically a look at Abdul Nasser, he has been a sight to behold so far in this game, making a lot of positive runs, creating opportunities here and there. I mean, it's been an incredible game we are witnessing.
We'll talk about this Niger side. They failed to beat the Black Starlets of Ghana in that pre-friendly ahead of this particular tournament. They lost by 2-0. Nabi Keita scoring an exciting goal. And he equally was on target against Cote d'Ivoire in that opener of this tournament. But here comes Cletus for Nigeria. And he's a corporate as another player in the orange shirt stays on the field once again. And this time around it to be the man, Chaibu. But he's able to make it onto his feet as we continue from where we left off.
23 minutes, great moment so far in this game. And from every angle, from every department, it's full of excitement.
Here comes again, nearly laying onto the path of Kosi, who arrives at Shirley, but that could have been so much trouble for Nigeria, who didn't really suspect that one. Dunk into their box.
That was a perfect dunk in there from the left back, Osman Adamu Gumai, and nearly lacking the connection there. It could have been a different story. The story might have taken a twist here, but so far so good. We're just 25 minutes, and we can see that clearly both teams are up to something.
Well, Samuel lifts it for Chika, who decides to set on his man. Agbenla, but again, is the Niger's defense watching the line closely. Young Foray, always red hot alert at the back to ensure that his Golden Eaglet players do not get past him. Chika lifts the ball for Agbenla. I was looking for the big man himself, Rafa Adams, but couldn't connect to him. As he's been switched up, there's a lot of midfield decisions. Kosi now drops into the middle, but nobody in particular. Absolutely no green, no orange shirt to connect to.
Well, that was a poor pass there from Musa Al-Hassan, Bankani, Kosi, but he was trying to look for a supply to Sheikh, but unfortunately there was no one there. So the connection was lacking, but he's been a sight to behold so far. Great game so far from Niger. I mean, having been able to hold Nigeria as a 25 minutes of play without conceding it tells you that indeed they are doing something right. But the issue has to do with how would Nigeria break the defense of Niger.
Ola Demi J who lifts the ball for Mendy, but it will be a throwing advantage to them. Quickly effected. On the left hand side. Adeleke in that tussle. But can he wins it? Is the Nigerians who have been able to impress the referee. And that'll be a throwing advantage to them as well. Yauza with a long throw in into the half of Nigeria, but couldn't find it. As this time around the pendulum will swing. It will be Nigeria's throwing. Well, the tempo of the game have dropped a bit after that high tempo in the last 15 minutes. But here's Yunus for Nigeria. Drops it to Chibueke on the right hand side. Has got plenty of space. Decides to hit it across the field to find Adeleke. Was in plenty of space, but Mende connects to it beautifully. Drops one into the Niger's box, but again Nigeria very deep now into the half of the menace of Niger. It's been a very tactical game. And the players so far have been so disciplined.
Yes, no booking so far and no warning either, and it clearly shows how disciplined both teams have been. And we are just hoping that the game wouldn't turn out to be a game that will encourage stoppage.
Abdul Nasser with a long hit, and it's way off the mark once again from the man in attention for the menace of Niger once again, looking to be the danger man on the left hand side. You only disrespect him at your own peril. The youngster has been very effective.
Effective, absolutely effective. He's been able to create a wonderful trademark, and so far, anytime the ball gets to his side, he does something useful with it, and clearly he has become the star of his side.
But let's see how Niger are going to really contain the pressure that is Golden Eaglet mounting. Cletus is rather Samuel that goes down to the ground from that challenge. And again, it will be a warning to the man in the 5 shirt for Niger. He needs to be very careful with his touches. Chibueke always managed to keep it on the tap. Returns it to his captain Cletus. And Cletus will lift that one. He's spotting the run of his colleague inside, but again, Faker arriving early to claim that ball. There was a lot of danger that was spilling in the box of the menace of Niger once again. But it's well read by the goalkeeper.
And that was a good run there from Adams. He was just on the edge of, making use of that delivery. But defensively, the Nigerians were on time and on point to stop that from materializing.
Well, if it stays this way, it's not really going to favor Nigeria. They would have to wait until the final day to decide whether they'll be crossing over. But I'm sure Coach Gabameno, who is so experienced at this level, will have to conjure a bit of magic with his charges. Also being at the mercy of the MRI prior to this competition. So virtually it is new players that have been selected. Chibuike now finds Samuel deep in their own half. Yunus. And he releases it onto his right hand side for Chibuike once again. Yunus is invited. Rafa comes into the frame. But he managed to keep it. Oh, it's a lovely ball pressed to the right hand side. That was a challenge. And the referee's whistle will go. It's Nigeria's free kick.
So that was a high forward challenge. A very good decision by the referee. And that was a high forward challenge there from Osman Adamu Gumaye. And the ball finds itself in a very good position for Nigeria, who are looking for an early goal here.
Well, let's see. It's been a lot of appearances for Nigeria in terms of the African Under-17 Cup of Nations, first in 1995. And since then, they've been able to win so many of them. Well, they've got no pedigree when it comes to this competition. Samuel gets ready to effect this one alongside Agbenla also, who is also getting ready to take this one from the left-hand side. It's at the left-hand side of Niger's defense, but for Nigeria, it's at the right-hand side. And it's rather Agbenla who goes for it. It's been left for him to deal with. Now what has this young chap got under his fingertips? And there's a 3-man war formed by Niger with the likes of Mohammed. Or getting into form the 3-man war. But what can Nigeria do? And it comes off the wall. Not the best of kick.
Not the best of kick. He had an eye for a goal, but the ball rather goes into the wall. But with that notwithstanding, deflector for a corner kick. I mean, he could have done better. He could.
Well, it's Nigeria's corner kick on the left-hand side to be effected by Agbenla. Sensing a ground. That's oh my goodness, that is Nigeria first goal, and that is it. Nigeria with the first goal. And it's a lot of credit to the big man, Rafa Adams, who plays for Supreme Sporting Club in Nigeria. Oh my goodness. What a bizarre defending from the menace of Niger. And what's a way for Nigeria to jump into the lead.
I mean, it was expected. Nigeria has always been the favorite against Niger. Prior to this game, we all said that Nigeria looks favorite, and true to their words, they've been able to live up to expectations so far. But it's quite unfortunate that despite the effort from Faker, they weren't able to clear that one. The goalkeeper did his part, Faker Husseini Dauda. But unfortunately, they were all standing there, paving way here for Rafa Adams to capitalize on that opportunity here for Nigeria. It's 1-0, and it's a great game song for them.
One of the best of goals, quite scrappy, but for Nigeria, it's a very important lead in this particular fixture. At least it will take a lot of pressure off their neck. If it stays this way, go into the final game against Togo on match day 3. But here's Niger's free kick. Cozier goes behind it. It could be very dangerous if the captain for the menace of Niger decides to take it very well. Dominic has got to be very hot. Cletus, lovely play from the captain. Again, fouling Yamfore. Check out with a quick throw in. But Mahamadou and goalkeeper Faker once again dive in to save the situation.
Well, that was a close call there, but Faker doing well to grab that for Niger. I mean, it's been a good game, great game by all standards, and we are witnessing some delightful play from both teams. But Nigeria seems to be on top at the moment. Well,
interestingly, it's the first time an SHS student is captaining this Nigerian Golden Eaglet side. And Cletus Simon, who is an SHS1 student of Ville College in Nigeria, with that Dunkton tax of leading inside. And here is the man I'm talking about. Goes round 2 players, decides to trot back. Finds Mende. It's back to him again. Agbenla gives the ball away. Ola DJ drops it to Mende. And rather finds Yunus. Chibueke calls for it and receives it. It's now been dragged up front a bit. To nobody in particular. Another wasted onslaught from the Golden Eaglets.
Well, they seem to be on cloud 9, having taken the lead. But there's more to this game. There's so much to consider. It's just 35 minutes. And you have about 55 minutes more to play. You need to take chances. You don't have to relax despite taking the lead. This Nigerian side, they are very dangerous. And at any point in time, anything at all can happen.
So let's see. Here comes Niger. Oh, what a play. Very, very poor play by Cozier. The captain of the side decides to step in when it's needed most. But it's been sandwiched. Returns the ball back. Drift to inside. But again, it's Samuel to Nigeria's rescue. Rafa Adams, a real tormentor in chief, together with Adeleke. And again, it's being welcomed by Mahamudu, who needs to be very careful in that defensive shape. A lot of physical strength now being witnessed in this game by these two young sides. After 35 minutes of play, and Nigeria still hanging on to that goal from Rafa Adams on the 32nd minute.
It's still not enough. They need to do more despite taking a lead. This Nigerian side is very dangerous, especially on the counter, and we have witnessed that on a couple of occasions in this game. If clearly they had taken their chances, the story might not have been as it is now. So Nigeria need to sit up, create a lot of chances, and make sure they capitalize some of them. Because just a goal lead is not enough to secure you the maximum point at stake.
Chibueke, Ale is walking very deep into his own half, gives the ball away to Kozier, who Ale finds the big man himself, Mohamed. And fails to go around Chibueke, but wins the throwing advantage for the menace of Nigeria. Quickly faking. Osman, back to Osman once again, who connected to Mohamed. Mohamed was looking for Chik. There's a free kick advantage after Mohamed was brought down. And his coach, Mahamudu, beginning to push his charges into the half of the Golden Eaglet now to see if they can put parity before the halftime break.
I mean, the position of the boy looks so great. Provided the expertise is on point, they are likely to salvage something out of this. It is in a very good position, but let's see how well it goes at the end.
Well, Chisu goes behind it, and it could be one of the kicks that we're expecting, but Dominic has got to be very watchful in this game. Look at it, it's taken by the captain, Kozier, and it's pumped away for a corner kick.
Well, I think the theatrics were so much, but at the end of the day, he decided to go for a goal, an eye for a goal, but the goalkeeper, Dominic, was on time and salvaging it here for Nigeria, but clearly it was a great effort there from the Nigerians.
One is just corner kick to be effective from the right-hand side. As Mohamed draws a bit closer. It could be a short pass if they decide to leave it that way, but he decides to leave it. It will be a long one, dropped into the ball by Osman and is cleared away. But here comes Nigeria once again. Ola Demije running into plenty of space. He's got two players up front who call for it. Rafa Adams here. Oh, lovely touch there by the striker. Goes for the hits. Just across the face of goal.
I mean, that was an ambition. So much reflective of a player hungry for goals. Rafa Adams controlled beautifully, moved away from his marker, and decided to unleash one from distance. And it clearly shows his potential as a leading marksman for Nigeria. Clearly, that was a good example of a player willing to do all for his country.
It's Niger's throwing. But it's made by Kletus. We'll have to just touch it simply. What a class of a touch there from the youngster. Has been stopped by Osman. Osman once again coming into the frame. Was looking for the run of Mohamed, but Mohamed arrives a bit late, and that'll be Nigeria's throwing this time around from the right-hand side. And Chika once again, the set piece specialist, will go for it.
Yes, definitely Chika has really been under a lot of pressure, pinned to the wall severally in this game. But clearly, the Nigerians seem to be operating solely from the left-hand side of attack. And Abdul Nasser, who has been the role figure in the setup, has been at the heart and center of it all. So if they are able to put things together, I think they are likely to get something out of it. But so far, so good. We're just about 5 minutes to the end of the first half.
Well, lots of bright spots in this fixture for both Nigeria and Niger. You can talk about the skippers of both for both sides. Cletus for Nigeria and Kozie for Niger.
I mean, in a way, both have lived up to expectation, especially in terms of leadership, how they organize their boys and how they are able to calm down pressure. It shows how their leadership qualities are, and clearly we have seen it in most part of this game, especially on the part of Cletus.
Well, it's what a huge boots there from Young Foray, but he stays in his own half. As they would have to contend against Chika for that one. Chika fails to win the sympathy of the referee as this free kick will go the way of Niger. With Chisu getting ready to effect it, lifts it for the man in a 15 shot. Young Foray once again. Well, I tell you, Young Foray has seen most of the ball at the back for Niger in this game. He's been really hard working, but here comes Nigeria again. There's a lovely player, Deleke. He's got Rafa, but again a lot of jittery moment from Niger. Osman, fake out, poor ball from him. He's stopped by Rafa Adams. Rafa Adams having this possess, and he fouls his marker in the process to recover what he started.
Great one by our standard. Nigeria dominating play, but Niger also equally responding in a way. Chiso Amo Bachiri was just the victim on that occasion, suffering some slight casualties, but the referee on hand to be on his advantage.
It's Niger Mohammed! Oh, and it comes from the woodwork. Oh my goodness, that was a real hit there from the youngster.
I mean, that was a perfect response to reaction, and naturally it was done, you know, simultaneously. But I think he was able to give a very good reaction of that. Mohammed, who has been a sight to behold, Mohammed Abdul Boridia. I mean, so far so good for him. He has been one of the few players who have lived up to the expectations so far in the first half.
Well, Chibuike will leave it for Yunus. Yunus will return the ball to him again. The two centre backs enjoying themselves in this game. Chika finds Ola Demije, who now run into that space. Very narrow space, of course, but he manages to break through. It's back to Yunus, who finds Chibuike. But again, a lot is happening. Abdul Nasser couldn't keep it on the tap. Taibu. And that'll be Nigeria throwing once again. What a game we witnessed it.
I mean, it's been a game of equal balance. It goes back and forth. And no team has been on top of this game. It's very equal. From defense to the midfield to the attack. Everything seems so perfect. Well divided and well shared. And clearly we need to give credit to the coaches for giving us such a wonderful tactical shape-up in this very fixture. Previously, it could have been an easy game for Nigeria, but as I speak, things have become difficult for Nigeria because other nations are equally learning and gradually they are coming into the fold. You wouldn't have expected Niger to be an upset to Nigeria, but here we are witnessing one of the most exciting fixtures in this competition.
Well, Nigeria needs to stand well because Mokhtar is still on the bench and is a man that the Nigerians will be looking to exploit the weaknesses of this golden eaglet of Nigeria. But Young Foray couldn't arrive early. Seems to be another welcome goal kick for this exciting MENA squad who are trailing by goal 2-0 in this game.
Some few seconds to exhaust the first 45 minutes, and I'm sure a lot will go on in the dressing room, especially on the part of Niger.
Rafa Adams trying to cap open his marker. Goes one in the one, but again, is Mahamudu, who is ever present to deal with that situation. He still stays with Nigeria. Adeleke. Oh my goodness. Cletus couldn't find him. Chika wins that challenge. And certainly that's a foul situation on Samuel.
So the referee had it right. So much on point. He was just on the scene, and it's an infringement here for Nigeria. An opportunity to double their lead.
Oh, that's a free kick for Nigeria. Almost 40 yards out from the mouth of the goalpost. And then Samuel who gets behind this one to effect it. Oh, the player is being for Nigeria. Destiny Samuel. Oh, that was nearly a quick one there from the youngster. A lovely play. But again, the idea was very spot on, but Chika failing to read it.
I mean, that was a nicely disguised effort there from Chika. But the defender equally read the mind of the player and giving a very good intervention here for Niger. Having been able to hold them and going down by just a goal difference tells you that indeed Niger have done something right.
Well, I see it's additional time that is almost up here, and any moment from now the referee could put his game to bed. What an exciting first 45 minutes we've seen. As the player lies on the turf for the Golden Eaglet, and is the Chika. The right back who is struggling to get onto his feet. And it's Osman with his destroying, and could be the final touch for this particular half. It's footed inside. And here they come again is a menace. Oh, lovely play looking for the man in the 8th shirt, Chisu, but he arrives a shed late. Again, lacking a lot of ideas whenever they are moving into Nigeria's half. Final decisions has been a bit problematic for this young menace squad.
So that has been one of the major challenges of this Niger side. They create the opportunities, but when they get to the attacking third, it becomes a problem for them.
Well, certainly that concludes the first 45 minutes here at the Legon Sports Stadium. It's Nigeria that heads into the halftime break with a goal from the late markman, Rafa Adams, on the 32nd minute. And lots of talks will be happening in the dressing room for both sides. And of course, the busiest of the two coaches will be Coach Mahamadou Bashiru, who will be talking to his charges a lot.
Definitely, he has a lot of work to do in the second half. He needs to come in with an ideology that will best fit the situation on ground. So we've done the first 45 minutes. Great game by all standard. Nigeria proved to be much superior against the Nigerians. But with that notwithstanding, we have witnessed some wonderful play from Niger as well.
Oh, certainly, don't go anywhere and join us for the next half of this intriguing game as we hand over to our Pandre team that is on the side.